Throughout history, the modern English language has changed quite significantly, but many of the phrases we still use remain the same, such as crocodile tears, riches Croesus, and so I have come to Manchester to find out where exactly these phrases have come from. It's strange to think that some of the most commonly used British phrases actually have global origins, and some come from as far away as Egypt. One of these phrases is crocodile tears. The story behind crocodile tears goes like this. One day, a group of Egyptians were walking along the banks of the Nile when they heard someone crying and moaning and in deep distress, and so they went to investigate. This group never returned. And soon after, the crying and the moaning started again, and so a second group of Egyptians went to investigate. And there it is said that amongst the reeds they were attacked by a huge, fearsome beast, and this was later named the crocodile. In ancient Egyptian culture, crocodiles were considered as being agents of fate and were deeply feared by the population, and so in order to protect themselves from regular run-ins with these fearsome beasts, prayers were offered every morning to the fearsome god Sobek. Sobek was one of the most powerful of Egyptian gods and was said to have the body of a man and the head of a crocodile. And so there's no other god more perfect to protect you from these horrible attacks. And believe it or not, this is one of these fearsome creatures. This might not be the perfect representation of a crocodile beside me, but it does show how important crocodiles were in Egyptian culture, and this is where the phrase crocodile tears has come from. Throughout history, the modern English language has changed quite a lot. And so I'm curious to see if any of the phrases that we use in this actually have British origin. So I'm here in Bury at the Fusilier Museum, and I'm about to meet Daniel to see if the British military history has any contributions to the phrases that we use today.
Welcome to the Fusilier Museum.
Oh, thanks.
So you're now in the Salford Palace exhibition,
Okay.
The Lads off Regent Road. It's funded by Booth Charities based in Salford.
Right.
And it's all about First World War soldiers who all lived in the Ortsel area of Salford.
Okay.
If you open the door, you can meet one of them. So first we meet Harry Gerard, or formerly Henry Gerard. Harry was born in Salford, and he experienced a lot of difficulties and a lot of what we'd call hard lines.
Okay.
Difficult times, hard times during the First World War.
So that hard lines phrase, which I've heard actually being used today in kind of the modern language, that has a military stem.
Yes.
That's what it's from.
Yeah. Harry, for example, he was going to the front, he was going to fight in a war, but he was leaving behind his wife, Jessie, who was pregnant with his then-to-be daughter. So that difficult time, that time of uncertainty and fear and apprehension after initial excitement of joining up, all the men in the first 2 years of the war joined up because they volunteered to join up.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can see from soldiers like Harry how hard it was during the war. Soldiers who were sent to the front lines nicknamed this position the hard lines because it was where they would experience the most dangers. Phrases from the English language can be traced from all over the globe, and one that has always fascinated me is as rich as Croesus. Who is Croesus? Where is he from? Why is he so rich? And was he known for anything other than his wealth? I'm here at the Manchester Museum to meet Keith Sugden, who is the curator of numismatics, and I'm hoping that he will be able to shed more light onto who this Croesus was, why he was so rich, and maybe tell me a little bit more about him. And so could you please enlighten me, who is Croesus, what did he do, and what exactly is he famous for?
Well, Croesus was the king of a territory called Lydia. The kingdom was Lydia, and its capital was a place called Sardis. And we are very familiar with the name of Croesus because we have the saying to be as rich as Croesus. He was legendarily rich. He was an interesting character in numismatics because he was reputedly the first to actually issue gold and silver coins. Separately.
Oh, okay. So was this one of the first pure gold coins then?
This was the first gold coin. It was called a Cresid after King Croesus. There were smaller fractions of the piece as well. And what you see on it is the forepart of a lion facing, or confronting is the word in numismatics, the forepart of a bull.
Okay.
And that was the badge of the kingdom of Lydia. That was the royal badge. He also produced silver coins with exactly the same types on as the gold. That is, the lion forepart and the bull forepart confronted. It's, as you can see, I brought this along because it's not that easy to see through the glass, but here you've actually got it in your hand. You can see the badge itself.
The badge on the front is incredibly detailed. It's quite easy now to spot the lion and the bull, and the typical kind of power animals of the age, and it's a really, really lovely, fascinating little coin, and it's strange holding something that is just so old.
You're holding one of the first coins ever produced.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have this association with the modern saying, obviously, as rich as Croesus, this is where a lot of it came from.
We all use these phrases every day in the modern language, but very often we don't know the history and the stories and how these phrases actually came about. The last few days have been absolutely incredible for me, discovering the origins of this. Very often they're actually global, whether it can be from ancient crocodile gods in Egypt to the very British troops on the front line serving in the world wars. It's been an amazing discovery, and I'm definitely looking forward to finding out more in the future.